Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Moonlight. Moonlight is written and directed by Barry Jenkins, starring Mahershala Ali, Janelle Monáe, Naomie Harris, and the three characters that portray our main character in the film, Sharon, are played by Alex R. Little, Ashton Sanders, and Trevante Rhodes. This film is centered around a young man in various stages of his life, in childhood, in teenage years, as well as in early adulthood. And this character's name is Sharon. And the film deals with his life on a very personal level. It has to deal with him dealing with a drug-addicted mother, as well as persecution for him being who he is. I won't give a lot away with the plot because I believe that this film really needs to be experienced with knowing as little about the film as possible. I really think this is a film dealing with a lot of personal issues and a lot of existential issues. It deals with a journey of human self-discovery, and that is really the heart of this film, is really dealing with trying to know yourself in a world that you don't believe that you belong in, or at least a world that doesn't accept you for who you are, so you have to hide who you are. And you also have to deal with all of the persecution and difficulties that go with that. This film is, in my opinion, incredible. This may be the best film I've seen from 2016 overall. Whether it is my favorite film of the year, that's up to a debate that I'm still having with myself. First of all, I want to say that Barry Jenkins directs the heck out of this film. This film is so beautifully well directed, well shot, extremely well acted that I really am blown away by this film. This was a film I had waited to see before I make my top 10 of the year, because I had a feeling that this film would be in there somewhere, and it indeed is. It's a film, like I said, exquisitely well made. Every shot in this film is just so uniquely well done. The lighting, the camera movement, the direction when it comes to the actors in the frame, the shot structure, the framing is just perfect, and that is really surprising in a director who really hasn't done many films in his career. He's kind of coming out of nowhere making this film, and this film has gotten a lot of critical acclaim, and also a lot of great praise from just moviegoers in general. This film is also interestingly structured in the sense that it is structured in three unique parts: childhood, adolescence or teenage years, and then early adulthood. So it is very play-like in that atmosphere. Each act has its own title to it. Act 1 is titled Little, the middle act is titled Sharon, and the third act is titled Black. And each act is kind of its own unique story, but there are certain thematic through lines throughout this film. But each section obviously deals with different plot and different story. And I feel that the film does a really wonderful part of actually making this film very cohesive despite having three distinct parts. But I do have a certain kind of qualms when it comes to the structure, but I'll get to that when I delve into more of the negatives later. But like I said before, the acting is phenomenal. Mahershala Ali, who you maybe have seen in the Netflix series House of Cards, or you've seen on the Netflix series Luke Cage, is a really phenomenal actor who's really now being more well known for his work. And I definitely see him getting a Best Supporting Acting nomination for this film when it comes to the Oscars, as well as Naomie Harris. Naomie Harris, who plays the mother of Sharon in this film, is really phenomenal. Just unbelievably realistic when it comes to someone dealing with the types of things she's dealing with. She is really not a lovable character in this film, and that's one of the positive aspects of this film, is that it really doesn't sugarcoat things when it comes to Sharon's life. You see the harshness of it, you see the grittiness of it. This film has a lot of grittiness to it, despite the fact that it is shot in a rather warm lensing or warm colors, which is extremely unique. And I have to say, Barry Jenkins does a lot of artistically great things with it. But before I move on to other things, I just want to say Janelle Monáe, who is typically known for being a musical artist, is phenomenal in this film. She has a very small role, but every time she's on screen, she is phenomenal in the film. And the three actors who portray our main character of Sharon are really phenomenal. They each portray him in an own unique way, yet you can see that this is the same character throughout. And I was reading up that the director did not have the actors meet each other or see the other actors' performances so that he could make each one uniquely their own. And that is really fascinating just from a filmmaking perspective, from a story perspective. And when you watch that and you know that, you really are impressed by how similar each actor approached the character. The thematic work in the film I also see to be very strong as well. Like I've already hinted at, the film is very existential, it's very personal. It is kind of a unique journey for this character. I think it's a very human journey. I feel that we can really connect with the character on that level. Perhaps we haven't had a similar journey to the one he is going on, but I think we all uniquely have our own life's perspectives, and that's why I really feel that the film really is strong at, is showing a life perspective that you don't really get to see a lot in film. But there are a few negative aspects, I guess, that I have of the film. They're rather small, and I see them really as perhaps inconsequential to my overall enjoyment of the film, but I think it does warrant to mention those. Earlier I alluded to the 3-act structure format of the film. While I do really like that format because it feels very play-like to me, and also there is a relative good cohesion within that structure, there's also the problem in the sense that every time a new chapter or a new act starts, you almost have to start from scratch all over again. It's like you're getting really invested in the story that's being depicted right now, and then all of a sudden we move on to another one, and we have to start all over again with being investing in a new story. It's the same characters, but it's a new story, it's a new plot line, and that seems to be a little hindrance in the film. I don't think it's something that's too egregious to the point where it would ruin the film or anything like that. Also, film tends to utilize a lot of the same shots over and over again. There's a lot of close-ups of the character, and I think those are used more in the sense that this is a character who lives in a world that he feels very boxed in with. He feels very isolated from. By filling the whole frame with him, you really see how boxed in he is within the world. And that really is a main theme of the film, is this idea of isolation, of being ostracized from society because of who you are, and not really being able to deal with them, and not really knowing how to deal with them. So some people may not like the use of the framing too much because it is repetitive, and maybe it's used as a bit of a crutch when it comes to the depicting the character, but I didn't mind it too much. The use of kind of blurred out background with the character within focus is utilized quite a lot, but it didn't bother me too much. Also, another kind of negative aspect I had with the film is that the side characters are so fantastically well portrayed by the actors that I wanted to see more of them. I wanted to have them be on screen for more and have more of an impact in the story because they were so good. The Janelle Monáe character, the Mahershala Ali character are fantastic, but we really don't get to see them a lot in the movie. The Naomie Harris character, who portrays the mother, like I said, she's in the movie a lot, and when she is on screen, she is really magnetic when it comes to this character's life and really important in the development of this character. And like I said, she is a standout in this film. But with all that being said, I'm going to give the film a relatively high score of 4.85 out of 5 stars. It is indeed one of my favorite films of the year. I highly recommend it for people who really appreciate fantastically well done films. This has been my review of Moonlight. If you like this video, please check out my other movie reviews as well as the other videos on my channel.